to like Eagle's Peak, Relica. You know, we haven't
explored all of them yet.
We haven't quite done Field Up Hills yet because she's not quite there yet, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We did that. Oh, do you want to tell your story about the your archery experience?
Oh yes. So I had to do those like beginner quest things, like from that guy in the Boot Hole Land. And one of the ones was you had to do archery. So as I'm talking to him, he's like, all right, now, like, take off your armor because it's, like, too heavy to do the bow. And I was like, oh, okay. So I, like, did that, but then I immediately put it back on because I was like, that was dumb. Not listening, reading what he was actually saying. So I go over and, like, he wanted you to, like, kill, like, 10 cows with your bow and arrow. So I run over. Run over. I have all my armor on, and I'm aiming at the cows. And I'm just, like, nothing is hitting. Like, it's 0. I'm sitting there for about 10 minutes, like, being like, why is this working? Is it because I'm really low level? And then this nice person, whoever you are, if you ever listen to this, thank you so much, just walks by and goes, you have to take your armor off or you won't hit. And I was just like, oh. So then I take it off and I was like, oh.
Hey guys, I'm Bill, also known as the Barbecue Games on Instagram.
And I'm Alex, his sister, who brings only chaos.
And together we are the Gaming and Collecting Podcast, a mostly video game centered podcast.
But half the time, we just talk about anime.
And that collecting thing, well, that's mostly just an implication at best.
So come along and enjoy us on this adventure
as we discuss the games that shaped us. And how you been?
Oh yeah, you were gonna say, and we're back.
Yeah.
So we just recorded another podcast.
Yeah.
If you listened to the last episode last week, Bill's still in my apartment. It's only been like 20 minutes since we recorded the last one, not even. So just to get out of the way, we're still drinking the same coffees as last time.
Yep.
Bill got large ice black. I got medium ice caramel with cream only.
Yep. So I guess we should talk about our adventures yesterday.
Yes. So yesterday was our adventure day, and today's our podcasting day.
Yeah.
So we started out the day going to our favorite little restaurant, Sip the Drip.
Not actually what it's called.
That's not what it's called, but one day our mother called it Sip the Drip, and
it's been that ever since.
Yep, that's what it is. And honestly, every time I type in the GPS, I don't type the actual name. I type Sip the Drip, and it goes, what the hell are you talking about? And then I go, oh yeah, that's not actually the name.
We call them momisms.
Yes.
Whenever she creates a word.
Like
we
Pickle Barrel.
Pickle, yeah. Anime Pirate Party.
Or Inumami.
Yeah. But anyways, moving on.
Yes.
So we went out, we ate, and then we went out figure hunting.
Yeah.
And we were there early.
Yep.
And waited in the parking lot for half an hour.
Yeah.
And then we didn't realize the guy was already open and inside, so we had to call and ask. And he was like, yeah, we're open.
And we were like, oh, well, there's no car. So we thought it was closed.
Yeah. So we went figure hunting. Alex bought a lot of figure.
I only bought 3.
Only 3.
So the one that I really, really wanted was I wanted a Jinbei. They had a Jinbei figure, which Jinbei, like, the figures, like, will sell of his very, very quickly. Because they don't make a whole ton.
That thing is a chunk.
It is fucking heavy. Like, that is a thick figure. But I really like it. It's really great. It's the only figure I have that has like a panty shot too, which is interesting. I didn't realize they would put that much detail. I thought it would just be solid on the bottom or something.
I'm glad you're I'm glad you were interested.
You're the one who pointed it out.
Because you were like holding it towards him, like, hello.
I didn't realize that it did until you pointed it out. But then I got 2 others, which I got 2 Jujutsu Kaisen figures, which I've been rewatching Jujutsu Kaisen for the past week. Because I forgot how good it was. And there's like I think they announced the 2nd season, but there's that movie that I need to see. I don't know if it's out in America yet, but I want to see it eventually. But I got a Gojo Satoru figure, and he's just looking pretty cool. You know, I put him next to All Might because honestly, same power level, I would say.
And then you got your little boy.
And then I got this Yuji one, which I believe I didn't realize it. It's like him sitting, but I guess like I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger, which I'm not upset about it. Like I like it. I definitely want to get like a Sukuna figure to go with it. And like have him like stand behind, like have him sit in front of Sukuna, and then I think I'll like it even more. But it's cute. It's supposed to go in like teacups or like on top of stuff. Or no, it's actually it's supposed to go like when you buy ramen, and you get it like in a package, and it has like you have to put the tab back over it, so that it'll bruise so the noodles soften. He sits on top of it, so that's like what he's actually supposed to do. But I like him. He's a cute little figure.
Yep.
So what did you get at the figure store?
I got a Kikyo from Inuyasha.
Yep.
And I got a Blake Belladonna from Ruby.
Yeah. I saw the Ruby the other day, so when I went for my Jonathan figure, which I don't believe I ever talked about on the podcast.
Your over-the-top, overly stylized extra figure.
Oh yeah, it's the most extra figure and most expensive figure I've ever bought. It's Jonathan, and they did these lines of figures where they were bust, like basically like bust of them. And they kind of have their off-color designs, like when JoJo's, it kind of flips colors sometimes in the show. So it's Jonathan with like his green color scheme, and it's sick. It's so detailed. But me and Bill were talking about JoJo's figures in general. They're super detailed.
They're just extra.
Very stylized.
They're very extra.
But it's such a cool figure. Really like it.
Like those are super over the top, and meanwhile, like the pop-up parade ones are also very detailed, but they're like so much not extra.
Yeah. I have 2 pop-up parade figures, my 2 Haikyuu ones, but we already talked about those on the podcast.
Yes. And then after that, we went. Did we come back home after that, or did we go anywhere else? No, we went to
We did, yeah.
We went to. We stopped at. Borders. No, not Borders.
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble.
We stopped at Barnes and Nobles because we both had to pee.
And while we're there, we always look at the manga section because I always forget Barnes and Nobles just have massive manga sections now.
Yeah.
Because manga is everywhere now, and I got the 3rd volume of Mao, which is Rumiko Takagashi's current manga she's writing.
Yep.
And then they had the 1st volume of Fruit Basket, so I grabbed that as well.
Yeah.
Those are expensive though; they're like $20 a piece. So I was
also,
kind of.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to.
I was like, I can only afford one right now.
Yeah, I also didn't realize that like Borders just sells figures, like anime.
Oh, you mean
figures.
Barnes and Noble?
Barnes
I don't
and
think
Noble.
Borders exists anymore.
Yeah, no, Barnes and Noble bookstore they sell anime figures.
It's funny because Barnes and Nobles don't exist in Massachusetts, but they're everywhere in Connecticut.
Yeah, there's a bunch in Connecticut.
It's weird. Because that's not the first one we went to yesterday.
Yeah, we ended up going to 2. Yeah, because yesterday was pretty bizarre. So after that, we came back to my apartment.
Hung out, played a lot of Switch.
Yeah, played some Switch games. We're chilling. And then eventually we went out to dinner. And as we're going out to dinner, it's in this mall. We sit down, we're eating, like, the weather was clear skies, and then we looked outside.
We had a really chill waiter who was asking us about anime.
Yeah, Bill had on his Fruits Basket shirt, so he was chatting with us about anime, and then we're sitting down, and then I look outside, and it's, like, completely snowing, like, white out. Like, you couldn't see anything, and I guess it was called, like, a snow squall, and that was bonkers. It literally lasted for, like, maybe like 20 minutes.
Our meal, and then by the time we left, it was gone.
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
It was crazy.
And then we went to, because we had to walk off because we had some drinks.
Yeah, we had some drinkity drinks, so we had to walk it off.
So we went over because it was attached to a mall, so we had to go over to, walked around for a bit, and we went in through the Barnes & Noble, and we went to the manga section there.
Yep.
And they had, like, so one of the worst things about collecting manga, I swear, is whenever you actually want to, like, get something, you can never find volume 1.
Yep.
But one new series I'm into is a series called Komi Can't Communicate.
Yep.
And I finally I saw they had like volumes 1 through 7 just there, like, and I was like, $9 a piece, sure.
I'm getting it.
So I got the first 7 volumes, and I was like, sweet. But then I realized Borders doesn't give out bags, so we had to go run out to Alex's car.
Yeah, we had to run out. But it made me feel better because, like, I was so anxious about, like, you literally couldn't see anything.
She was worried someone hit her car.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even worried that. I was just worried. I just wanted to check, make sure everything was okay.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we wandered around. We went to Newberry Comics.
Yeah, which also sells anime figures.
You can get anime figures everywhere now.
The Pop-Up Parade ones you can find like,
pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Then we walked around there. We walked around the whole mall. Went to like Hot Topic.
Went to
Zoomies.
Spencer
Gifts.
You know.
But it was fun. We had a good.
Walked off, came home, did some other things we'll talk about later.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a productive day.
Yeah.
But getting into our topic now, so this is actually a follow-up episode to a previous episode we did. We're going to continue with our RuneScape adventures.
Whee!
So in the we apologize if you hear any like cars outside. There's loud cars in this parking lot.
Vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Outside.
But anyways, so we're going to continue on. So the last podcast we did was more about the early days of RuneScape when we were playing back in like the 2007 era.
Yep.
Before we came back to the series. So in this one, we're actually going to be talking about when I first started replaying and then Alex getting back into the game.
Yep.
So I guess the best place to start would be, so after like around like 2013 to 14 is around when I kind of like stepped back the first time. Mm-hmm. And because RuneScape's kind of one of those things. Like I don't consider it like ending a relationship. It's more kind of like it's a long time.
Taking a break.
It's one of those old friends that you don't see very often, but whenever you come back, it's always a great time.
Yeah.
So I kind of played on and off from like 2014 to 2020.
Yep.
Like in between then, I'd pop on, play a little bit, pop
Level
off.
up some skills.
Yeah, do that. Never really had much motivation, and it was funny because you take a break, you'd come back, and the game would be so different.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was right around RuneScape 3 when I stopped playing.
Yep.
The first time. And so I popped in, and then 2020 happened. We don't need to get into 2020.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to move on from that. But during that time, I had a lot of free time on my hands when I wasn't at work.
Yep.
So I decided I wanted to start playing RuneScape again. Just something to do. Yeah. So I popped in, and it was like, I actually started playing during a double XP weekend, which is actually happening right now at the time.
Yes.
But, so I was like just kind of like skilling and like just getting skills really fast. And I was kind of like, one of my goals I never achieved in RuneScape at the time was I wanted a skill cape really bad.
Yep.
And I finally said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a skill cape.
Yep.
So I just kind of like went on like a training frenzy. Like I'd have like anime on in the background or something in the background to watch. Yeah. And I'd be just training fire making. Because I was like, you know, this is my highest skill. I'm going to get fire making first.
Yep.
So it took me like probably like a month to do on and off.
Yep.
And I finally did it. I got fire making 99. And I was like, yes, finally have a skill cape.
Yep.
And then I figured out what the keepsake box is. So I sent it to the keepsake box. So I just have my cape forever.
Yep.
And at that point, then I was kind of like, what do I do now? I've accomplished my goal.
Yeah.
So I just started training other skills.
Yeah.
And by then, it was like kind of, if you actually follow my blog, you could actually see the progression because I kind of posted up. I would post updates every now and then.
Yeah.
And it was like, it took me a while, but by 2021, after a year of just training and doing stuff, I had every skill maxed.
Wow.
Every skill cape in the game, all 99.
Woo.
Even like the new skills, because I popped in and I was like, the only new skills I knew about were like dungeoneering and divination.
Yeah.
And I had barely even done anything with them when I stopped playing. But then there was also invention and archaeology, and I admit those are two of probably the funnest skills in a while. Mm-hmm. Dungeoneering's pointless, I'll admit. I don't get it. It's kind of useless.
Yep.
But that's beside the point.
Womp womp.
More of a mini game than anything.
Yep.
But yeah, so I played for a bit, and then by the time I got maxed, I was like, what do I do now? And I was like, I should probably actually do all these quests now. Yeah. So I've been on like a questing spree.
Yep.
And it was around this point where we kind of got you back into the game.
Yeah. Well, so briefly in like 2019, I found out that you could download RuneScape Classic for your phone.
Old school RuneScape.
Old school RuneScape for your phone. And I was like, oh, this is fun. So I actually, like, that kind of brought me back originally. I only ended up playing it for, like, a couple months because then life got insanely crazy with the pandemic and losing my job at the time. But but then after, after seeing Bill play it and of course creating this podcast, we were like, oh, like it would be fun to like have us start playing it again and create a podcast series based off it. So that kind of is what brought me back.
So it's pretty interesting because the game is very different now to start out because there's just so many mechanics now, and like ironically Tutorial Island's probably the simplest thing about it because it really hasn't changed much over the time, other than they've had to update the skills a little.
Yep.
Because the game has gone through a lot of tutorials over the years. Like there's the classic Tutorial Island, which is perfect as the way it is, even though RuneScape keeps insisting they need to change it.
Yeah.
Then there was the Learning the Ropes tutorial, which was overly complicated, took too long, and I swear to God scared more players away than it helped.
Yeah.
And that was quickly replaced with another one called Unstable Foundations, which was a more simplified version of Learning the Ropes, but it was still too complicated.
Yeah.
And then they kind of got rid of... So after they got rid of Learning the Ropes, they actually brought back Tutorial Island temporarily before they replaced it again with Unstable Foundations.
Yep.
And then they just straight up replaced the tutorial with like these like kind of like basic like knowledge boxes when you start the game. And they also established where beginning players start because they moved them from Lumbridge to Birthrope, which used to be a members area. Now it's a free area.
Yep.
Then they had another tutorial which took place on this island called Ashdale, which was another kind of tutorial island in a sense.
Yeah.
But that was like removed, and they just brought it back to Tutorial Island.
Because I went through Tutorial Island.
Yeah. Which leads me to believe it's like Tutorial Island just was perfect the way it was, and you didn't need to change it.
No, yeah.
But they did give the nice option of you can skip the tutorial if you want.
Oh, I should have done that.
Yeah, you kind of needed to relearn how to play.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that complicated to figure it out. And I had you there, so I could just, like, ask away.
But what's funny, I guess before we get into Alex's adventure, one thing that I found really entertaining was, with Tutorial Island, was there's actually a quest in the members world that's like a nostalgic throwback to Tutorial Island, where it's like you literally... Because the island was removed from the world map at one point.
Yep.
To make room for the updated Wizard's Tower.
Yep.
And they actually made a quest explaining where it went, where it was revealed that it sank because of a like a curse or something.
Yep.
So there's an entire quest that involves you visiting the island to save all the instructors that taught you everything. And when you go down there, you basically have to redo Tutorial Island, but it's like an underwater twist. So you have to like learn how to cook shrimp underwater, and it's like this you have to like use this underwater like heat vent thing.
Yep.
But the funny joke is like because you're literally always like will fail to cook the shrimp the first time.
Yep.
The game's programmed that way. Because your cooking level's so high by the time you actually do that quest, you won't burn it the first time. So you actually have to like find a way to burn the shrimp just so the tutorial can move on as previously established.
Yep.
But it's cool because you have like a different twist to everything. It's really nostalgic.
Yeah.
But I got great joy out of that one. But anyways, so moving on to your first adventure.
Yes.
You spent a lot of time just killing random things.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like when I start playing the game, I just have this urge to attack. I don't know why. Like if I see like in Birthorpe, or as I like to call Boothole, Boothole Land, there's just a ton of bunnies. And I just would go, and there would just be so much raw bunny meat everywhere.
Yeah, I found her there, and it was just a massacre. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
And it was just like living my best life.
Yeah.
So that's what I did first, and then the second thing I did was there was this guy there, and I don't know who he was, but he just kept telling me things to do.
One of the tutorial guys.
One of the tutorial guys. So I kind of listened to him for a little bit. He wanted me to they had this cave of gremlins or something. They weren't goblins. They were
trolls.
Trolls. Yeah, this troll cave, and you had to go in and you had to basically like kill a bunch of trolls, level up your XP, combat, and then eventually fight like this troll boss, which I was all freaked out thinking it
was going to be super hard, and then you killed it super easily.
I killed in like 3 hits. Like,
well, you also like trained for like unnecessarily for like a good.
Yeah.
What was funny though is so she didn't have membership for like the short period in the beginning, but she eventually got a short time, basically for as long as we do this series.
Yeah.
Membership, and so basically she's had like an easy ride the entire time because basically it's like I can do anything really because I'm maxed. So she's like she'll get to a certain like level and she'll be like, oh, I can wear iron now. And I'm like, okay, I'll go make you a set of iron armor.
Yeah, but it's come back to bite me though because I was trying to smelt some armor and I couldn't, like, I my mining level is like level 45, so I have really strong mining and I have all like this mithril like ore and I can't use it. Like, I can't even like use it.
You have to train your smithing
because I still have to train. So right now I'm working on training my smithing. So it's been good, but it's also been bad in some points because I need to go back and round out all my skills.
Yeah, and you haven't really done a lot of quests yet. We got to get you on quest pretty soon.
Yes.
Right now she's only done Cook's Assistance because I told her that she just has to do that quest first.
Yep.
And then Gertrude's cat.
Yes.
Which led to a traumatic experience for her.
Oh yes. So, we did Gertrude's cat.
And then we were training a little in the Stronghold of Security.
Yep.
Trying to get Alex's levels up a bit, and So there's like a glitch that I've noticed that can happen if you're training combat and you don't like pay attention to your kitten.
Yeah.
Like 24/7, it'll just disappear on you.
The thing is though, was like I was paying attention. Like I pet him after every monster.
It's like a glitch. Like it just during combat for some reason it like happens. So her cat disappeared and it like demoralized her. Now she won't get another one.
Well, so then I tried to replace it with like those what do they call them?
One of those pets things.
Yeah, one of those pets things that override thing.
And it was like this weird like walking cat thing.
Well, it was the only free thing. It was the only free thing in like the what store was it where you used the Oddments?
The Oddment store.
The Oddment store was the only one that was free at the time, so I got it, and then I got it, and I was like, ugh, it's horrible.
And you named it Schnookums.
I named it Schnookums. And I hated Schnookums. I still hate Schnookums. He was just always in the way. But the only nice thing was like when I set fires, like he would always just step in it, and I'd be like, all right.
Alex didn't know about the bonfire mechanic at first, so she was doing fire trails like we did back in the old days.
Well, also I didn't realize, so I thought like you would have to keep adding it like on your.
She didn't realize it was automatic.
Did it? So I was. That's also why I was like, oh, this is stupid. I'm just gonna make make fire trails.
I remember because I found you and I was like, what are you doing? So I'm like, you're wasting your time.
So one thing that I tend to do, well, especially we already kind of talked about it, but like if I see an enemy, I have the urge to kill, to just attack it in the game. I don't know why. So I'll just constantly like I'll see a goblin, Bill will be like, follow me, and then I'll be like, ooh, goblin, and I'll just kill it.
Do you remember the time we were like going around and I found those goblins and I was like, oh, there's some goblins, you can go kill those, and you're like, but those are like level 50 goblins, and I was like,
what?
I looked at them like, oh yeah. They were just random level 50 goblins for some reason.
I almost attacked it too until I hovered my cursor and went, oh shit.
You actually probably would have been able to kill him. But
I probably would have been because I was combat was like level 50 at the time, or at least a little bit lower than that. But yeah, I'm trying to think like what we did like the first starting out couple of levels.
We mostly took you around like training things. Like I remember because you spent a lot of time on that first floor of the Stronghold of Security.
Yep.
Killing Minotaurs
and Wolfie boys.
It was until basically we trained you up until you could wear mithril armor, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember that, and then because now you have adamant armor because you're stuck there until you beat Dragon Slayer and you can get the rune plate body. But we were doing that for a bit, and then. One of my favorites is after we did the first podcast, we made the whole goal of like I'm gonna get Alex through the Stronghold of Security.
Yep.
And I was thinking like because I had this because when I did Stronghold of Security way back in the day, I was significantly like underleveled for it.
Yeah.
And I always remember that final like room, like getting through that thing without getting killed by those like ghost skeletons was so hard.
Yep.
And I bring Alex down, and literally every room, like none of the enemies even acknowledge her.
Attacked.
And she just straight up plowed through, and I was like, oh, well, that's depressing. I was like, way to like kill the freaking like memories there.
Yep.
But I did actually get the rainbow boots, the fancy boots back, so I have those overrid on my character now.
Yep.
But yeah, so we did that. We also did the stronghold of player safety, and Alex killed cockroaches for a while.
Yeah.
Because they drop herbs, and they also drop a lot of money. For,
yeah, they drop a ton of coins.
For low level players, anyways.
Yeah.
We did that, so she got through all those 2 events.
Yep.
Then we started kind of just exploring around. Like I introduced her to the wonderful world of Silverhawk boots.
Yes.
Which make training agility so much easier.
Yep.
Oh, she also likes to like go crazy in like the Lumbridge market and just steal from the stalls.
Oh yeah, I really like to steal from the things in Lumbridge. So I have about like 100 or something. Like I think I have like 500 cakes in my inventory now. Especially because
stocking up on food.
Well, especially because this weekend was a
double XP.
Double XP. So I've just been like, and it like you can like steal the crafting supplies, but you need to be a certain level. But you get less XP, so I get more from the one I get the most from is like the wine stall. So I'll just go wine cake, wine cake, wine cake, and just steal it. Steal all the stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
What was another fun thing we did? Oh, do you remember when we were doing the lodestone adventures?
Yes.
So we were trying to get
almost
all.
Died.
We were trying to get
I
all.
almost died.
We were trying to get all the lodestones that she could physically unlock at the time, unlocked. So we're going around, and I remember because it was like we got all the free player ones down.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the wilderness, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But one of the first things we ran into, we were like, I was like, okay, let's get over to Catherby, because Catherby's a great town to train in for fishing and stuff.
Yep.
So we were like, I forgot that she couldn't use the underground pass, because I forgot that was like the underground like not dwarf tunnel,
Yep.
because you have to beat a quest to unlock that. So I was like, oh right, we got to go over it. So we go up on the top, and immediately a white wolf like just attacks her. I was like, oh right, they're kind of strong up here.
Yep.
I was like, just run.
Just run. So
You'll
I'm
make
like
it.
running, and I'm anxious because I am an anxious person, and I'm just like.
And I was just subtly taking them out as we went.
Yep.
And I always remember that. And then we finally got to Catherby, and I was like, hey, we made it. And you were like, that wasn't easy. And I was like, yeah, but you made it.
One of my favorite things I've been doing too is like I'll always try and go in places, and Bill will be like, no, or don't go there, or don't go there without me.
I was like,
let
well,
me
yeah.
go first.
I'm like, she's gonna die if she wanders off, because we were going through areas where she was so underleveled at the time.
Yep.
Because she'd never explored the members world before.
Yep.
But now we've since got her all the way out to like Eagles Peak,
Yep.
Relica. She's too. We haven't
Explored all of them yet.
We haven't quite done Field Up Hills yet, because she's not quite there yet. But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We did that. Oh, do you want to tell your story about the your archery experience?
Oh, yes. So, I had to do those, like, beginner quest things, like, from that guy in the Boot Hole Land. And one of the ones was you had to do archery. So, as I'm talking to him, he's like, alright, now, like, take off your armor because it's, like, too heavy to do the bow. And I was like, oh, okay. So I, like, did that, but then I immediately put it back on. Because I was like, that was dumb. Not reading what he was actually saying. So I go over, and, like, he wanted you to, like, kill, like, 10 cows with your bow and arrow. So I run over. Run over. I have all my armor on, and I'm aiming at the cows. And I'm just, like, nothing is hitting. Like, it's 0. I'm sitting there for about 10 minutes, like, being like, why isn't this working? Is it because I'm really low leveled? And then this nice person, whoever you are, if you ever listen to this, thank you so much, just walks by and goes, you have to take your armor off or you won't hit. And I was just like, oh. So then I take it off, and I was like, oh. And then I did it, but I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
So
I bet he just
stupid.
watched you and was like, what is she doing?
He was wandering around for a little bit, and I think he was just like, what is this dumbass doing? And then eventually he was like, you have to do this. And I was like, oh. So I, like, typed in, thank you. I was really confused.
See, in old school RuneScape, you could still use like archery stuff with armor. It would just be, you'd be less accurate.
Yeah.
But You would have been like a perfect example for the cute noob sub on Reddit.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was up. My picture was up there.
Well, it's mostly old school.
But you know what's hilarious about it though is like the fact that I was wearing adamant armor. So it makes me look like...
No, you had adamant armor, an amulet of glory, and an obsidian cape because I had extras. And I was just like, sure, have these.
So I looked so stupid. Oh.
That was good. I'm upset I missed that because that would have been great.
I know. But the thing is that wouldn't have happened because you would have been like, no, you dumbass, don't do that.
I would have just laughed and let you keep going.
Oh, you bitch. How dare you.
I would have been like, that's funny.
Oh.
We've still done that. I remember exploring different areas, and you'd always be like, "What's that?
Yeah.
What's that over there?"
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the mining adventure? It's like, oh, we should train mining. I was like, okay, so we went in the mine, and you're like, I can't mine anything down here. And I was like, oh.
It was that mine in
Faldor.
Faldor.
The one where
with all the scorpions.
Yeah, the one that's attached to the mining guild.
Yep.
Because I was making some Elder Rune at the time, and I needed some Luminite to make the rune bars.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, we'll go mine down there because I need to stock up on Luminite. Mm-hmm. So I'm down there, and she's like, I can't mine anything. I'm like, oh, just kill the scorpions. Get your combat up so you can get your next armor. So she's down there, and she's like, okay, killing the scorpions. She's like, hey, they're not attacking me. And then the king scorpion walks over and just starts attacking her. She's like, ah!
And I was freaked out thinking that it was going to kill me because it was like, higher than the king one was higher than me.
Yeah, but then it just kind of like it was just slightly more annoying than the other ones.
Yeah, it just kept appearing, and I was like,
so I stocked up on probably I think 700 Luminite ores as she was down there just killing scorpions. This is what we do on our Thursday night RuneScape nights.
Yep.
In World 59, Castle Wars World.
Woo.
Even though we've never been to I think Castle Wars is still dead, honestly.
Oh.
Because there's mini games in RuneScape, and they've all been dead since years now. So there's no way to play those mini games anymore.
Yep.
It's a shame, but so we did a couple fun things like that. What was another cool thing we did exploring? I'm trying to think. I remember your goblin killing adventures.
Oh yeah, one of the funniest things is sometimes you'd be like, okay, follow me,
and then get stuck behind a tree.
And I'll just get stuck behind things, and I'll kind of space out for a second. I'll be like, where'd he go? Where's Bill? I'll be like, ah!
Oh, and then you trying to figure out the RuneScape stock market.
Oh yeah.
The Grand Exchange, because Alex is always like, whenever Alex has anything she doesn't want, she's like, can I sell this at the Grand Exchange? I'm like, sure, go for it. So then we'll run over there and drop it off, and then we'll continue on from there. But anyways, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So, what's funny...
You didn't even react.
Yeah, I'm just used to you now.
Oh.
But, so...
Is this your biggest regret in life, making a podcast with me?
You ask me this every time, and I say the same thing every time, so let's move on.
What?
No.
I need reassurance. No, ow. Ow, I've been attacked.
Anyways, so moving on... RuneScape 3 is fascinating because they have really changed the meta of the game.
Oh yeah.
Considerably, because I still, being a 2006 player, back then RuneScape was so much simpler.
Oh yeah.
Combat's all complex now, and you have different sidebars and setups you have to choose, which is fun when you figure it out, but it is intimidating at first.
Oh yeah.
Also mining and smithing are so freaking different now.
Oh yeah.
Mining, you actually have this kind of a mechanic where you have to kind of watch the stamina that you have, and you have to watch certain rocks glow to get more XP.
Yep.
Smithing actually is a process now where you got to heat the metal and shit.
It's more realistic.
It's more realistic, and it's more. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because in old school RuneScape, level 99 smithing is what you needed to make full rune. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, it took more. You needed a higher smithing level to make a rune plate body than it did to make a dragon plate body. Meh. Because that made perfect sense.
Because that's logic.
Yeah, but it's funny how they've changed up the mechanics on a lot of skills. They've also added the new skills, obviously, like divination, which is basically like alchemy in a sense, where you're just creating shit. There's also invention, where you literally invent things. And my personal favorite new skill, archaeology.
Yeah.
Archaeology is cool because you're like, it's basically just like an excuse to like add more lore to RuneScape, while at the same time exploring like underground caverns and shit, and digging and finding shit.
Yeah.
And it's just it's fun too when you're able to like make shit, all sorts of like smithing shit, because I can just make like any pickaxe, any matic, any axe. Like, well, not axe so much. Axes are, I don't think you can just make those. Maybe. No, actually, no, you can. What am I saying? But we've done that.
I like archaeology because of all the NPCs that are just forced to do the same task over and over. Like that guy who's just wading through his ancient sand over and over and never leaves. I'm like, yeah. And then there's that girl in the spot by like the...
Oh, yeah, the one that just buys all your shit from you all the time.
Oh, no. I was talking about the one who's like just constantly picking at the same spot.
Oh, right, yeah.
Over and over. And
the NPCs with no personality whatsoever.
No personalities. Then there's that like drunk guy. I really like the NPCs for the archaeology areas. They just look like they're having the time of their lives.
I like the whole like meta concept too, when you realize like there's just been like these ruins underneath RuneScape for so long that no one knew about.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Like, and there's like an entire like archaeology island that you can go to later on.
Yep.
And it's kind of like it's got its own like kind of like world item management, world building mechanics, which is pretty fun. There's a whole ton of like cool things that they've added since. I mean, I know RuneScape 3 gets a shit rap from some like old school purist fans, but I personally love it.
I think it's been really fun. Like, I like the new skills. Like, divination has been fun. It always looks like goofy when you're doing it.
Yeah.
I
enjoy. The one thing I will admit is you kind of need a guide to get through a lot of these older RuneScape mechanics. The quests are definitely fun. It's funny doing the older quests though that haven't been updated, where you're kind of like, wow, this was so much more complicated back in the day.
Like
but now,
Gertrude's cat.
Well, that's an old quest. Some of the quests are definitely older. They've updated a few, although some of them haven't been updated for the better.
Yeah.
But I've had fun. I do enjoy like just some of the crazy items. Like recently, I did they did the golden party hat event recently for Christmas.
Yep.
And like big anniversary. That was fun, just to finally like, because that was basically just one giant grind fest where you had to like grind out all these different things to get the party hat shards to make your golden party hat.
Yep.
Managed to do that, so now I permanently have a golden party hat.
Woo!
It's keepsaked. That's where it's gonna stay. I'm not selling it like everyone else.
Yep.
It's been fun though. I mean, we got plans for the future. Like we still want to get you.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get you going on quests.
Yeah.
Because like there's a ton of them that we got to do. Because you can't like you're kind of locked out on so many skills right now.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't do like rune crafting or anything.
Yeah, and especially with like the daily challenges too. Like I definitely want to
learn how to summon.
Yep.
All sorts of things. I remember trying to teach you how to farm. That was fun.
I still gotta check on those potatoes.
Oh yeah.
I planted them and I kind of forgot. Whoops.
Oh well.
Whoops.
Man, RuneScape's fun though. Like MMOs are one of those weird things like where it's like I just can't justify getting into another one just because I've put so much effort into like RuneScape over the years, and I can't like it's the same reason why I won't play old school nowadays, because I just can't start over.
Yeah.
Like I've put so much time and effort into my character. Like, it would be, like, a shame to, like, have to start over.
Shame to be like, goodbye.
Especially the amount of, like, time and effort and money I've put into it. Because, membership and subscriptions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny how many, like, different, like, events and shit. The overrides are nuts now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's people running around,
Some
like...
of the people, you're just like, what are you wearing? Or...
Well, it's funny, because, like, you feel kind of, like, out of place when you're just wearing generic armor, because it's, like... But I prefer that because it's so old. But sometimes you'll see like someone running around like a rainbow like bunny suit or something. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Or like all the wings and stuff.
The wings, like
stuff.
And crazy like cosmetics and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I do admit I did update my character's hair and facial hair to have more cosmetic updates because you can just do that now. I remember back in the day you had to like pay money at like the barber shop to change your hair.
Yeah.
Now it's just free whenever you feel like it. Oh, the makeover mage.
Yep.
Do you know about the makeover mage?
No.
He's back in the day. He was literally a mage that could change your gender.
Ah.
That's how I found out the guy I used to play the game with back in the day. That's how I found out he was lying about the whole turning into a girl thing.
Ah.
When I found out, it was like, Oh yeah, you're not. You just wanted to be a girl. That's why that was your thing.
Yep.
There's that. It was just like, there's so many like little tiny things throughout the game that you just see.
Yep.
We definitely got to get you there. I mean, you're definitely building up on the skills so far.
Yeah. I'm trying to balance out all the ones that I can get, you know? Like,
Yeah.
right now I'm going to work on my smithing so I can up that and actually be able to smith things. Because I can't. But I also got to go back and, like, mine a bunch of stuff so I can smith.
You
Can
gotta
you
get...
just buy ore from places or no?
You can, but it's expensive. It's cheaper just to mine it.
True.
That's the thing nowadays. I still remember back in the old days when, like, only one person could mine a rock at a time.
Oh.
And you'd have people being like, this is my coal rock. No one else can mine here. And you'd always have to fight just to mine coal.
Oh my god. That was, like, not great.
Back when RuneScape was like, every world was like filled to the brim. It's kind of depressing now. It was funny because it's double XP weekend, so even our world, we hang out in 59 because it's generally not that full. Even now, it's like, it was like packed with all the people doing skilling.
Well, it's funny though because it's like congregated in like certain areas.
Yeah, they're always by like a bank chest or something, so they can just constantly get their materials out of the chest.
Yep.
And it's funny when you got people actually trying to play the game around that disaster. Oh, some of the conversations too. Like, there was like literally a therapy session going on at one point.
Yeah, there was. They were really talking about their feelings and stuff. And I was like, you know, you go. I'm going to keep on stealing some bread.
Sometimes you see some really fucked up conversations happen, though.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one guy talking about how he took a Duke in a bucket.
Oh.
I was like, why would you say that on RuneScape?
Pleasant.
It's like either he's just making it up or
feel like
he has no shame.
I don't know. Could be both, honestly.
And it's always funny when you just walk by and you just see that and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, what is wrong with people?
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's like,
I don't know.
It's fun though. Honestly, I definitely want to get into more quests. Like, there's just so many. There's so many great quests in RuneScape that you can play through. The lore is crazy. Like, I finally did the Legends quest, so I can finally get in there. I was only like years late at this point.
Whoops.
Doing all the elf quests. I've been trying to like just like finish up all the quest series that I ignored for the longest time.
Because you're at level 99 and everything now. So.
Well, yeah, max. I'm 138.
Might as well.
There's no challenge anymore, but I love playing RPGs like that. I love getting over leveled and just demolishing everything I see.
Yes.
Because there's just something fun about that.
Oh yeah. It's like whenever I see a goblin and I know I can kill it with one hit now, and it's just like.
We definitely got to get you through some of those free quests though, because there's some of them that are funny. Like, you can definitely do like Goblin Diplomacy, like Demon Slayer, Endless Restless Ghost is another one that's easy. Mm-hmm. So many classics from the early days. So, but you'll get so many items that'll be so useless to you at your level now. Oh man.
I can sell them on the Grand Exchange.
Mm.
Sure, someone will buy it.
Yeah. I remember I took you to Karamja for the first time too, and I was like, okay, here's the lodestone. Don't go down south any farther because you will die.
Oh.
Because everything in the jungle can kill you.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was things in Brimhaven that could kill you too. Because Karamja's a dangerous island.
Whoop.
There's a lot of dangerous things in RuneScape.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a noob. I love when like new players don't have any idea where they're going. They just wander. Like the Dark Wizard Circle in Varrock. Whenever we pass that, I'm always like, stay away from them. They will kill you. Mm. That's like the greatest noob trap ever. Yep. Like, just luring like noobs through the Dark Wizards thing.
Varrock has the yellow guards, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love Varrock because it's so fun to kill the guards there.
Yeah, this is like an old school thing, but like the Dark Wizard Circle, those wizards are deceptively powerful for their level. They're aggressive, and there's like so many of them. Yeah. And it's like just having like you can like a noob can wander in there and just get destroyed on sight.
Whoops.
And it's like, oops.
Well, that hasn't happened to me. I haven't died yet.
Yeah, you haven't yet because I've been.
I'm gonna knock on some wood.
Yeah. I've also been very cautious to be like, don't do that. Stay away from there. That'll kill you. You will die there. Don't go there.
Even though a part of me just wants to explore and discover, and I'll probably die at some point.
Well,
but
we haven't experienced the wilderness yet. When we do that, though, we're gonna no armor, so.
Oh, okay.
Just not to risk losing anything.
No armor. Are there like monsters in the wilderness?
There's monsters, but they're not as big a deal. It's more the players, because nothing's worse than when you're just trying to like do a clue scroll or something, or like just brief, like because there's some quests we have to run in there.
Yep.
excuse me. Don't inhale your coffee, kids. But
do people just attack in the wilderness?
yeah, because that's what the wilderness is. It's where players can PvP. But like sometimes you'll be like literally just trying to do like a quest or like a clue scroll or something, and you'll just get this dick who just has to attack you, and it's like, come on.
Come on, I have no armor on. Like, I'm clearly here for one thing, not to fight.
Yeah.
Peace. That's where you bring your monk outfit out. You bring out the monk.
You overrides chicken soup.
Yep.
Well, you don't have the chicken soup. That's all. That's an old holiday event. I haven't done a holiday event other than the I guess the golden pea hat, if you want to count that as a holiday
Golden
event.
pea hat.
Party hat.
Oh.
Pea hats.
Like
That's what they call. Oh yeah, that's a great April Fool. So JJX does April Fool jokes every now and then.
Yep.
And they did one where they were dropping. They said they were going to be dropping green pea hats around Edgeville.
Yep.
And it was literally a little tiny green pea. That like was on your head. They've done those a while, like because people had wanted horses for a long time, so
Yep.
they did a thing where you could get horses, and they were just little toy horses that you could play with.
Oh, I remember that.
There were
I
those.
remember you showing me that.
There was before like dragon plate bodies and dragon kite shields were a thing. There was a dragon plate event, which was just a spinning plate.
Yep.
There was the dragon kites, so everyone had these kites hanging around.
Yep.
They've just been doing old like April Fool's jokes like that for years.
Yep.
Just to troll the players, and they're honestly hilarious. You can get all those too from there's a store that sells all those April Fool's pranks.
Oh, okay.
The pea hat was just funny though.
Yeah, I kind of want the pea hat.
Yeah.
Just for the funniness of it.
Well, because the actual party hats are freaking ridiculous, and honestly, most of the ones that were originally spawned probably got deleted
Yeah.
because of players that got banned or just never came back from.
Whoa, whoa.
Because those were RuneScape classic items from way back in the day.
Yeah.
There was those. A lot of the holiday events that you kind of miss out on, like, but some of them are fun. Like I enjoy some. I enjoyed a good amount of those. I like the ones where you get like this, like just like something simple, like a cape or something.
Yeah.
There was these. They did a Thanksgiving event once too.
Huh.
I don't know if they still do those.
Turkey.
That's where you get the turkey emote.
Oh, gobble gobble.
Yeah, you turn into. Some of the emotes are super
Strange.
crazy. My favorite, the new one I discovered was Rafflecopter.
Oh, yeah.
Where you like roll around on the floor and then you just randomly like a helicopter pops out of your head and you float up in the air. It's like what?
Yeah.
Those are funny. Some of them are crazy. I do like the Max Cape emote too, where you just build this behemoth using every skill imaginable.
Yep.
Those were fun. RuneScape's been a blast, like playing it over the years. Like, it's weird because we're gonna do more of these. I'm trying to like condense like thought processes for future episodes
Yeah.
because Alex is questing. I'm thinking about guests for the future episodes.
That would be fun.
Getting like perspectives of different people.
Yeah.
For the future, it's definitely plans because this is going to be a series. It's going to be like our anime swap series,
Yeah.
or I guess our new Pokemon.
Yes.
Our Pokemon retrospect. Well, Pokemon, I guess, list retrospective.
Yeah. That one's like more of a mini series though, because that one will eventually come to an end.
So will RuneScape eventually.
Oh yeah. But I feel like RuneScape will be a little longer.
Yeah, well, it all depends on how long we keep playing.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, it's as long as we're still having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
This one's definitely going to be shorter though than the first one, just because this is more just kind of explaining what we're doing right now.
Yep.
Because the first one was more about the early days and kind of like just what we remember. This one's more kind of like, what are we doing now?
Yeah.
Like.
Attacking
Not much
random
right now
things.
because it's kind of we got a veteran perspective and a new player, semi-vet. She played once and then
Yeah.
played again.
It's mostly right now. Bill shakes his head. I attack. Bill shakes his head. I attack.
I explain old school RuneScape lore
Yep.
and be like, this was different in the old game.
And meanwhile, I'm just off attacking the nearest NPC.
I'm like, Alex, come back. Alex, come back.
Yeah.
Alex, don't do that. No.
No.
No. It's Chuck Testa.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's so old.
Yes, it is. That's ancient. Hey, you were watching the guys that created that this morning.
They didn't create that. They created the song.
Well,
Chuck Tesla.
No, they did the commercial.
Yeah. With the no, they did do the commercial.
Yeah.
It was another guy who did the song.
Yeah.
Wow. I love Red and Link. They're so funny.
Yeah, we've lost the RuneScape plot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
brought up Chuck Tesla.
Chuck Tesla. Elon Musk.
No.
Chuck Tesla.
Yeah.
Chuck Tesla.
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh, Tesla.
You said
Oh.
Chuck Tesla, so I was like Elon Musk. I don't know where we're going anymore. We've kind of lost the plot. Don't do that again.
Why not?
Because that was terrible.
Why?
I was actually joking. I was talking to my my friend, our friend.
Yes.
You know, but we were talking about cosplays for the future. We were gonna get like skill capes and like 3D printed
Oh my god.
like RuneScape swords.
Yeah.
And just go around to conventions.
That'd be sick.
He was telling me about it because he found some on Etsy. That would be cool.
Ooh.
It was something we were talking about. Because honestly, one of my favorite cosplays I ever saw was just for how stupid it was. It was a guy, he had a paper mache, like RuneScape, like old school RuneScape helmet.
Yep.
And it just had the yellow text above his head. It just said buying GF.
Yeah.
I mean, you know RuneScape's like one of the biggest dating games, right?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Everyone's buying girlfriends.
Ew.
You don't get the joke.
Gross.
They used to do weddings in RuneScape too.
Oh.
Like they used to be hosted by like the Grauer brothers.
Oh.
Like they would do weddings back in RuneScape Classic
Why
days.
not?
I love old MMOs back when they were so freaking small and condensed.
Yep.
Now they just are so big that it's like.
Can't do stuff like that anymore.
Well, now it's not as fun anymore.
G-Base disappointed in you.
Well, every like every quote unquote girlfriend that people have is probably a dude.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, we're gonna probably cut it off here. It's a shorter one.
Yeah.
More simple and to the point.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, you can always find the Gaming Collecting Podcast.
On
I've
Anchor.
already screwed up the egg. All right, guys, so let's try this.
You can find the Gaming and Collecting Podcast on Spotify,
No,
Apple
you've already,
Podcasts,
no, you're not following
Anchor.
the order.
I'm changing it the
No.
fuck up this week.
Enough.
No!
So-
I get to say it this time. You can also find it on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and Twitter.
All right. So thanks for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming and Collecting Podcast on all... Shut up, no one believes you. You can find the Gaming and Collecting Podcast on all your major podcasting platforms. We are made on Anchor Podcasts. And you can particularly find us on Spotify and Apple. I'm just going off the script. We've fallen apart at this point. Good Pause, YouTube, eventually Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah. Goblins really like our podcast too, especially when I murder them in RuneScape.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more active on Twitter, by the way, so if you see me around there.
Yes.
But anyways, guys, thanks once again for joining us, and we will see you all next time whenever we get back to RuneScape, and
Beep.
that'll probably be for a while. In a bit.
Woohoo.
But anyways, we'll see you all next time.
See you then.
All right, bye.
Bye.